Hey everybody, welcome to my next video. Here I'm going to talk about some prints that I got done recently. Just got them back today. I looked through them once before I did this video. I just wanted to kind of jump right into it and talk about them. I'm really excited about them. I'm glad I got them. I chose these specific pictures on purpose because I just absolutely love them, especially in the way they look in black and white, which is convenient since I'm shooting this in black and white, that these pictures are also in black and white. I kind of did as a series of pictures. Before we start though, I do want to show you this one picture. As I mentioned, every episode we're going to do a different desktop background of a picture that I've taken. And today features my good friend and one of my closest friends and neighbors. She'll get that. Is my friend Meg Murray. She recently just started her own YouTube channel, who I mentioned, I believe, in my first video. And I will put a link in the description where you can find her videos. She does just kind of vlog type videos where she's kind of just documenting her life, talking about college and just kind of relatable videos. And I think you guys would really benefit and enjoy those videos. She has her friend on in the most recent, our friend Christine, and it's just a really good time. Even if you don't know them and you don't know their sense of humor, I think you'll still find it really fun. I hope you'll check her out. These pictures, before I show them, were done, some of them very recently in the last few weeks. I mean, we've only been here about 3 weeks of the new year, and 4 of them were done in this new year, so they're very new. 2 of them were done in October time, but they're all different people, which I liked. And originally I was planning on getting 2 copies of each, giving one to the person who's in the picture, one for myself. Unfortunately, I only got 1 of each back, but that's okay. Maybe down the road I will get some more prints done for them. I just really like them. Who knows, actually, then again, I might even give them these just because, as a token of how much I appreciated their time and all that. I guess we'll just jump right into it, save time. There's no reason to prolong it. Unfortunately, they're a little curled right now just because I got them rolled up, but I'll do my best to kind of show you some of these pictures and kind of talk about why I chose each of this. First one off is my friend Allegra. I met her during a rendition of Sweeney Todd that I was helping to do marketing for. This was back in September, October, November time. This shoot in particular, we just kind of got together, her, myself, and my friend Heather, who's in one of these other pictures, and she kind of did a fairy shoot. As you can see, there's a lot of makeup on her face, and we had some feathers going and all this kind of stuff. And this picture originally was in color, but I decided to change it just kind of on a whim to black and white, and I really drew out the whites and darkened the blacks and all that kind of stuff, and I just thought it struck a chord a lot more in black and white. It was very just kind of you're looking at the composition and who she was, and you weren't getting necessarily distracted by the makeup and the color. Obviously the picture in color is really great because the makeup job is fantastic. But there's just something about the simplicity of this image in black and white that I really just loved. I ended up sending it to her, and she really liked it. The detail in the nose and eyes and all that stuff, I think, really shows, and that's what I really like about it. The contrast in it and all that kind of stuff, I think, just really stands out. So this next picture was one of the ones that was taken very recently, and it's of a girl named Alexis. She's one of the 4 sisters I shot in one day, the King family. And if you follow me on my photography Instagram, you've seen these pictures before, all of them actually. But this one, the reason I chose this one for black and white, I knew kind of once I shot it, I wanted it in black and white. And the reason being, she wanted a 50s type theme for her shoot. And what stood out to me is she has this, and it's hard to tell obviously in black and white, but this pantsuit dress, I don't really know what to call it, but that was pink. And she had the pearls and the hair, and she just gave this Jackie Onassis Kennedy or Jackie Kennedy vibe about her. And when she did this picture, she's looking down. Her face is a little more sad and kind of depressed looking. And whether it was her actually posing or I just kind of caught her candid, either way, I just think it's such a powerful shot. It really reminds me of post JFK assassination kind of picture, like something you would see when she is standing in the hospital room. Maybe she's looking down at JFK or something. I just thought real powerful image without saying much and without being so distracting. It's very subtle, but you can really read into this image, and I just thought it was so great. Okay, so the next picture, just going in order here, is one of the other sisters, the second oldest sister, Chloe. This picture was really great. I almost passed over it when I was going through my pictures, but I ended up going back and I found this one and I really liked it. I posted it with one where she's smiling and kind of did like a comedy and tragedy type of deal. I just love this this raw emotion that she has within this picture. You know, with this poncho on and all this kind of, she's looking down again, similar to her sister's image. This one just really like kind of captures a lot without saying a lot. And I really just love pictures like that, where, and portraits especially, where you can just look at it and kind of feel how these actors or models or whatever you want to call them are feeling. Obviously, it's only a picture. You can read into it however you want, but there's something there. I just really love that. So this next image you guys saw last week, or if you saw my last video, I should say. This is a picture of Heather. We did this back in October, and I kind of talked about a little bit of how we shot it and what we did to shoot it and all this stuff, but I'll go into a little more detail with this. So basically, we were shooting in Newfoundland here in New Jersey, Newfoundland train station. It's an old train station that really isn't used anymore. It's got some old train cars there and stuff like that, which is really cool. But we had taken a couple on the train, and she had just done some really great poses and things like that. It was funny, she had come off of a Pennywise shoot, so she was still kind of feeling that Pennywise character, and I had to kind of tell her, like, look, I'm just looking for, you know, pictures of you. I wanted to really capture who she was. So we kept walking and we were talking and stuff like that, and the sun was kind of setting. This was probably 4:35 early because of it being like October, and I just had her stand kind of surrounded by all of these branches and bushes and all this kind of stuff, and the light coming in from behind her gave her this beautiful hair light, which I really loved. It really just had her stand out, and I thought I would lose her in it because of how powerful the sun shooting right into not right into the sun, but like pretty close. I thought the picture would be no good, but I just thought it turned out really great. I was able to expose for her face, get some behind her, and also not have the light be totally blown out. And so that's why this really stands out to me. And again, just reading into it, you can look at this picture forever and just be like, what could she possibly be thinking? I love pictures where they're looking right at you, kind of like what I'm doing right now, just because, it really strikes you. Like something about eyes where it looks right into camera or it looks right at you, where it almost like it's like they're reaching out to you. And so I just always go right for the eyes on this picture, especially where I'm just kind of like, what was going through her mind at that moment? I'm just always so fascinated by that. In a similar sense of kind of looking right into the camera, we have this picture of Libby, who's kind of the second youngest, third oldest, however you want to look at it. And she was really great. She at first was a little hesitant on the shoot. I know it was supposed to be Alexis and then Nat, who I'll show you next. They were going to do the shoot. One wanted 20s, one wanted the 50s. And then two middle sisters were a little like, yeah, we're good kind of thing. But then they slowly kind of crept up, and we got some family images. We did a queen shot, which was really cool. And I got this one of Libby, and I had her sisters hold these Christmas lights on either end. And I kind of just said, look right into the camera. Just look right at me. And that's what she did. And I just thought this was such a great image. There's another image that I like just a little bit more, but I was worried how it would print out. Of her, she has her eyes closed, and again, it's a little soft in the focus, but there's a moment where one of the lights is in focus, and you just like, she looks kind of like very peaceful when she's doing it, but this one is in the same kind of vein where she, looks very relaxed and very comfortable, which is really important. I think when you're taking portraits especially, you want the people you're taking pictures of to be comfortable with you. I mean, you're putting a camera in their face and telling them kind of what to do and all that kind of stuff. So I try not to give too much direction unless I really can see something there. If I, have them do this or do that, which again, this one was simply just kind of like, hold these lights above your sister's head, and then for her to just look right at me. I try to say me and not the camera, because even though, the camera is essentially an extension of my eye, it's kind of nice to just say, here, look at me. And they look at me, and they're pretty much looking at the camera, and I just grab it right there. So just a really great shot there. Okay, so last one is of Nat. She's the oldest sister here, and what's great about this one is she wanted a 1920s shoot. This is her first time shooting. She's usually on the other end of the camera, very big into film photography, which I'm sure she'd like my last video I did. We found it was an old mill near their house, old mill that was a restaurant and a music shop and all kinds of things. And this background was just really great. The wood, it kind of felt timeless. And so I really loved that. And I had her just kind of like looking off. And this one I think would have been a whole different image if she was looking right at me. I think this one where she's looking off, you're kind of wondering, why is she looking off? Where is she looking off? What is drawing her attention? And I just love that. And you're kind of following her eyes almost as she goes. And I hit this with a flash. I did just most of these actually with flash photography. And this one I felt was not overpowered by the flash. I think it helped. It really brought out the highlights in the face, but not overpowering. And it made such a great contrast in the eyes, where you can see the real whites of the eyes, but also the real darks of the eyes. And I just thought, this was such a great image. This was one of my favorites I've taken probably ever. So this is definitely going to be, if I ever make a book of portraits and stuff, this one will definitely be included in it. So, like I said, I didn't get too many done, but I just wanted to get a few done that I really enjoyed, and ones that really stood out to me. I may try to get some more done down the road and possibly do another video on that. But I just really also wanted to talk about the importance of getting pictures printed out and what they can really do for you. So obviously I'm very new in the game, so take my word with a grain of salt, all that kind of stuff. But what I think is nice about prints, and I was watching a video where somebody was talking about the same kind of thing. There's something nice and tangible about holding a print, and it almost feels like now you've completed the project when you've done it. Think about it like this. I mean, especially with digital, you take the picture, maybe you edit it and you post it online, and people enjoy it and all this kind of stuff, and you can look at it and it's the same. I mean, it's the same image. I didn't really make any adjustments as far as like contrast or anything like that, maybe size wise, but I really tried to keep the ratio the same. But having a tangible like picture to say like, this is me, or this is my work, and hold it and see how it prints out and the details and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this is 600 pixels per inch that I did it at. I made sure it was high resolution. I shot it on the camera again that I'm using for this video, which shoots up to like 4K equivalent photos. So really high res images, and they all just like, look, I mean, it almost looks like, you're standing in the room if you really look at it, kind of thing. And that's what I loved about it. I just love the detail and some things that, I could probably sit here and look at these pictures and, notice something I didn't notice when it was on my screen. So there's just that added bonus that you get, and it feels also like you feel a little more accomplishment out of it, because again, you have this physical like image that you're holding in your hand. You can hang up, you can frame, maybe hang them on the walls, things like that, that you just wouldn't get if you were just kind of like, oh, I put them on my digital album, or I posted them on Instagram, or whatever. Not saying you shouldn't do that. I think it's important to network that way and kind of share it and say like, look what I've done, and be open to criticism, but also like some positive feedback as well. And then, but having this, I mean, I have my office here, which I would love to hang things on. So I'm sure I could hang some of these pictures up if I don't decide to get rid of them, which I'm leaning towards giving rid of them giving them to people because, I can always print them again, one thing, and two, just to see how enjoyed they would be and how excited they'll get, knowing that they have a print of theirs and of their own, and to say like, this is me, and and it's also a conversation starter. Like if it's in my room or my house, if it's on my wall and people come in here, they've probably seen me post it before, right? But if I give them the picture and they hang it on in their room or something like that, and somebody else that doesn't know me sees it, well, now they can say, oh, I love this picture, maybe they want to see more, and then they can connect with me via social media or whatever. So a lot of great opportunities and a lot of great reasons, I should say, of why you should print out your photos. And I definitely think I want to do it more. Maybe not always this big, but maybe some 4x6s as well, or maybe something bigger, smaller. I don't really know. I'll kind of see. I like this size. I think 11x14 is a really great size, and it can get framed, which is nice. And it kind of just gives you like, it's not too small, but it's not like overwhelming where it's like taking up the whole room either. And so I could hang a couple of these on like one small wall, and it wouldn't be too distracting or anything like that. So that's really all I had to say for this video. I just wanted to keep it short, but talk about these prints. I'm really excited about them. And I hope you'll follow me on Instagram. Again, Dan Whitehead _photography. I post at least one picture per project that I do, just to kind of share with everybody, what I liked and, some of my favorites and things like that. So hopefully, we can talk about it some more. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me there or at my email, danwhitehead14@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.